For all our explorations of the enigma that is 3I/Atlas, we have approached the mystery as cosmic detectives investigating a crime scene. We have treated the object as the perpetrator, the active agent in this grand drama. We have analyzed its trajectory, deconstructed its composition, and theorized about its motives as if it were a visitor who chose to knock on our door at a random, inconvenient moment. But what if we have been investigating the crime from the entirely wrong perspective? What if 3I/Atlas was not the perpetrator, but the weapon? What if humanity was not the victim, but the trigger? This is the core of a theory so profound and so unsettling that it has only been discussed in the most secure, soundproofed rooms in the world. The theory begins not with the object, but with a coincidence of timing so statistically impossible that it cannot be ignored. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. Our solar system is 4.5 billion years old. For nearly the entirety of this immense timescale, Earth was a silent world, our developing biosphere a secret kept by the vast emptiness of space. Then, in a sliver of cosmic time so infinitesimally small it is effectively zero, two things happened in perfect, horrifying synchronicity. First, humanity reached a very specific and dangerous level of technological maturity. In a single century, we split the atom, we left our planet's atmosphere, and we built machines that could see to the edge of the universe. More specifically, in the last few decades, we achieved two unprecedented milestones. We sent our first physical emissaries into interstellar space, and we created a machine that could probe the very fabric of reality itself. And then, at the precise historical moment of this technological crescendo, a visitor of impossible characteristics and mysterious origin appears in our system. It is not just a coincidence, it is a statistical miracle. To believe that an object that has been traveling for millions of years just happened to arrive at our doorstep in the exact century we gained these new, cosmic scale abilities is a leap of faith far greater than any scientific theory. The timing is the crime scene. It is the clue that reframes the entire investigation. 3I/Atlas was not a random wanderer. Its arrival was not an accident. It was a response. It was an answer to a question we had just, in our technological infancy, screamed into the void. To identify the trigger, we must first look at our most audacious act of interstellar communication, the Voyager probes. Launched in the 1970s, these twin emissaries were humanity's most hopeful gesture, a message in a bottle cast into the cosmic ocean. After decades of travel, they finally crossed the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's influence ends and true interstellar space begins. They became the first objects of human origin to enter the galactic commons. They were, in the most literal sense, trespassers. And they were not quiet trespassers. Affixed to the side of each probe is the golden record, a document that is either the most beautiful piece of art we have ever created, or the most catastrophically naive mistake in our history. The record contains a map, a set of pulsar coordinates that, to any intelligence with a basic understanding of astrophysics, provides a direct, unambiguous vector to our home star. It contains diagrams of our biology, images of our world, and the sounds of our civilization. It is a complete intelligence briefing on our species, a detailed confession of our existence and location, delivered by our own hand. This brings us to the terrifying concept of a forbidden line. The galaxy may not be an open frontier. It may be a managed, monitored space with jurisdictions, boundaries, and rules. These boundaries may not be physical walls, but trigger lines of a vast, ancient, and automated security system. The heliopause could be one such line. By crossing it with the Voyager probes, we may have tripped a silent, cosmic alarm. The golden record was not received as a friendly greeting, it was received as evidence. The system, upon detecting the breach, would have dispatched a response. This was not a punitive, instantaneous strike. This was a deliberate, diagnostic response from a system that operates on timescales we can barely comprehend. The long, multi-million-year journey of Free I/Atlas suddenly makes perfect, chilling sense. That wasn't the time it spent wandering aimlessly. That was the travel time for the automated probe that was dispatched the moment our message in a bottle was picked up by the Galactic Coast Guard. We announced our presence, and Free I/Atlas was the official reply. Its mission was to investigate the source of the unauthorized transmission, to perform a close-range survey of the emerging technological civilization that had just declared itself to the universe. We reached out to say hello, and the void sent a detective to our door. The Voyager probes represent a physical trespass, an intrusion into geographic space. But in the same historical moment, humanity committed another, perhaps far more profound, transgression. This was a trespass not into the space of the galaxy, but into the space of reality itself. This was the crime of the Large Hadron Collider. Buried deep beneath the Franco-Swiss border, the LHC is the most powerful machine ever built, designed for a single purpose: to probe the fundamental laws of physics. We tell the public that we are searching for new particles, for the secrets of the Big Bang. But at its core, the project is an act of sustained, high-energy violence against the fabric of spacetime. We are smashing particles together at near the speed of light, recreating energy levels not seen since the first moments of creation, tearing open the quantum veil to see what lies behind it. Each time the LHC achieves a new energy threshold, it is like a roar in the cosmic silence. This is not a sound that travels at the speed of light. It is a fundamental disturbance, a ripple in the source code of the universe. This brings us to the second suspect for what triggered the response. Free I/Atlas may not have been a reaction to a physical object crossing a line, but a reaction to an energy signature, quantum roar, that announced the presence of a civilization beginning to meddle with the foundational physics of the cosmos. Such an event could be seen as a far greater threat than a simple probe. A civilization that can manipulate the quantum world is a civilization that could, theoretically, develop weapons of unimaginable power, ones that could threaten not just a planet, but the stability of spacetime itself. The signal would be unambiguous to any intelligence that monitors the universe on a quantum level. The response would be immediate and diagnostic. Free I/Atlas, in this scenario, was a specialized probe, its strange, impossible elements and materials designed not just to travel through space, but to analyze the quantum state of our solar system. Its fragmentation was the deployment of a sensor grid to measure the lingering effects of our experiments, to determine the exact nature and danger of the roar that woke the void. We were not just visited by a detective, we were visited by a bomb squad, sent to investigate a potential threat to the entire cosmic neighborhood. Whether the trigger was the physical trespass of Voyager or the quantum roar of the LHC, the nature of the response remains the same. Free I/Atlas was a deliberate, engineered object with a specific function. Its behavior is best understood not through the lens of astronomy, but through the lens of biology. We witnessed the activation of the galactic immune system. This is an ancient, automated network designed to detect, diagnose, and respond to emerging phenomena that could disrupt the galactic equilibrium. Just as our own bodies have different types of immune cells for different threats, this cosmic system would have a range of responses. The question is, which type of response was Free I/Atlas? The first possibility is that it was a probe, the equivalent of a white blood cell sent to the site of a potential infection. In this scenario, its mission was purely diagnostic. The fragmentation event was the deployment of a vast swarm of microscopic sensors, designed to perform a full-spectrum analysis of our solar system. They would have scanned our radio output, analyzed the chemistry of our atmosphere, cataloged our technological infrastructure, and perhaps even passively collected biological samples from the upper atmosphere. The impossible elements and alien isotopes were not weapons, they were the components of these advanced sensors. Its mission was to gather data and report back. Under this theory, we are now a person of interest, a case file that has been opened and is being actively monitored. The second possibility is far darker. It was a cure, the equivalent of a targeted antibody designed to neutralize a threat. Here, its purpose was not diagnostic, it was terminal. This is where theories like the gravitational weapon or the directed panspermia seed come into play. The object's flyby was the administration of the cure, a slow-acting poison that has already been delivered. The cure could be the subtle alteration of our orbit, a process that will sterilize the planet over millennia. Or, its fragments could have been a biological agent, a competing, more robust form of life designed to slowly replace our own biosphere. Its mission was to eliminate the infection before it could spread. The third and most abstractly terrifying possibility is that it was simply a marker, the equivalent of inflammation. In this scenario, 3I/Atlas itself did nothing to us directly. It was a beacon. Its purpose was to paint our solar system with a unique, persistent energy or particle signature. It marked our location on the galactic map, not for itself, but for other, more specialized entities. We have not been diagnosed or cured. We have been flagged. Our location has been broadcast to every other component of the immune system, and perhaps to every predator in the dark forest. Regardless of which specific theory is true, the Trespasser, the roar, the probe, the cure, or the marker, they all converge on a single, permanent, and civilization-altering conclusion: our innocence is over. For the entirety of human history, we have operated under the assumption that we were alone. The vast, dark emptiness of space was a frontier, a blank canvas onto which we could project our dreams of exploration and destiny. It was a silence we sought to fill with our own voices, our own signals, our own probes. That era has ended. The silence we mistook for emptiness was merely the silence of a house before you have alerted the occupants to your presence. We have now kicked in the door. The lights are on, and we have been seen. The arrival of 3I/Atlas was the moment the universe looked back. This fundamentally changes our relationship with the cosmos. We are no longer explorers in an untamed wilderness. We are inhabitants of a managed, and possibly hostile, territory. Every future act of exploration, every powerful new telescope, every deep space broadcast, is no longer an act of innocent discovery. It is a potential transgression, a move on a cosmic chessboard where we do not know the rules or the nature of the other players. This is the new reality that the world's leaders are now forced to navigate in secret, the true reason for the Atlas panic. The cover-up is not just about preventing mass hysteria, it is about trying to hide from the gaze of the watchers, to pretend we are still the quiet, primitive species we were before we crossed the line. But you cannot unring a bell. The probe has been sent, the roar has been heard, the answer has been delivered. We now live in the aftermath. We are a species that has lost its anonymity, and with it, the freedom to make mistakes without consequence. Every star in the night sky is no longer a potential destination, but a potential looking down on a planet that has just learned the terrifying difference between being alone and being watched.